intermittent power shortages, a complaint to the police on the destruction caused to the transformer in Biyagama.
Yoshita Rajapaksa and 3 others granted bail.
Every child above the age of 5 has a right to receive education at any government school, a statement by the Supreme Court.
Lecturers abstain from academic duties in Kalaniya in protest against ragging.
With news from here at home and across the globe, you are watching Primetime News on News First. A very good evening to you. I'm Chaturanga Puaraj.
A very good evening to you. I'm Florine Rajendran. Let's start off with a look at your developing story tonight. President Maithripala Sirisena has appointed a special committee to look into sudden power outages in the country and present recommendations to the government on what measures could be taken.
The presidential media unit said that the committee comprises of Minister of Power and Renewable Energy Ranjit Semlapitiya, the ministers Susil Premajayantha, Patli Champika Ranawaka Sakara Ratnayaka and Deputy Ministers Ran Wickramaratne and Ajit P. Pereira.
Meanwhile, the Ceylon Electricity Board says there could be intermittent power supply disruptions in the coming days as the Norachole power plant is not functional.
Intermittent power failures were reported from various parts of the island today as well.
අදත් නෑ කීයටලා කරන්ට් එනවද නැහෙන් දන්නවන්නේ නෑ
මේ විදුලිය නැ හිටීම නිසා අපිට හරි ව්‍යාපාර කටයුතු කරගන්න හරි අමාරුයි ඒ නිසා ඉක්මනින් මේකට පියවරක් ගන්න කියලා ආණ්ඩුවෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා.
While an island-wide blackout was experienced at about 2:20 last afternoon, the power was yet to be restored to many areas by midnight. The Ceylon Electricity Board states that the blackout was caused by an explosion at a major transformer in Biyagama. Engineers say the generators at the Norachole plant had automatically switched off as a result of the imbalance on the grid caused by the damaged transformer. The island-wide blackout was caused when the generators at Norachole switched off.
One of the main transformer tripped, and with that simultaneously few very important transmission lines connected to that were also tripped. So that was the main cause, and with that unfortunately, with the instability conditions in the system, the Norachole coal power plant, at that time all 3 units were operating. Unfortunately, they didn't try to properly behave to smoothen the instability. That's what happened.
Following the unusual destruction of the transformer, we lodged a complaint with the police, and the police are conducting a separate investigation. The government analyst too will shortly provide a report on what actually transpired. We hope to seek protection from the army once again for special locations like this. We are looking at every side with an open mind. I must say that we are looking into whether it was an act of criminal sabotage. We have never lodged a complaint with the police in the past over a power failure, but we feel something untoward has happened, and I must mention it.
All 3 generators at the Norachole plant are not functional, and it will take 3 days to switch on the generators. While the non-functionality of the Norachole plant has deprived 42.4% of the electricity supply on the national grid, prevailing dry weather has limited hydropower generation to 20%. Against this backdrop, the sustenance of the national grid is 80% dependent on private sector fuel power stations.
Once it switches off, we have to wait for it to cool somewhat before we can put water in the boilers. It takes about 2 or 3 days for the cooling process. There is no technical flaw in any of the machinery. We have switched on all the other generators to cover the shortfall. What we need now is the cooperation of the consumer. We have lost 900 megawatts, and the disparity between supply and demand right now is about 300 to 450 megawatts. We need the support of the consumer over the next 2 or 3 days to correct the imbalance, since the hydropower plants too are operating at a low capacity.
Yesterday, the chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board, Anura Vijaypala, decided to resign from his position, taking responsibility for the 3 island-wide blackouts experienced over the past 6 months. Nevertheless, the subject minister has refused to accept Vijaypala's resignation.
When there is a change in the grid, there is unusual activity at the Norochole power plant. Through this, the entire grid fails. In truth, one of the reasons for me to resign is that if you ask me now if anything will happen to the system in another hour, I cannot say. Our grid is in a very weak position. When the preliminary plans were being drawn up, if we were able to tell the planning engineers that the Norochole plant must function without switching off automatically when the grid collapses, then we would not have this problem.
Meanwhile, issuing a statement today, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that given that this is the 3rd such incident in a short time frame, there can be no pardon. The Prime Minister noted that the President, himself, the subject minister and others had discussed the matter and issued instructions, and that a special discussion was held this afternoon. He added that Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya would make submissions in this regard to Parliament on the 23rd of this month. The statement adds that steps will be taken to obtain local and foreign services external to the CEB, and that steps will be taken to formulate a new plan for the CEB. The Prime Minister also expressed disappointment on behalf of the government for any inconvenience caused as a result of yesterday's power failure.
President Maithripala Sirisena has instructed officials to expand the paddy storage facilities around the island in order to purchase paddy without delay. This decision was reached during the Polonnaruwa District Special Coordinating Committee meeting this afternoon.
The Polonnaruwa District Special Coordinating Committee meeting took place under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena at the Faculty of Science Auditorium in Polonnaruwa. Discussions centered on the development projects undertaken in the Polonnaruwa district in the year 2015. The President pointed out that it is the responsibility of the officials to utilize the money allocated by the government annually for projects sparingly. To my knowledge, it is only in the Polonnaruwa district that money allocated for the district officers have remained, but that is not the case in all the other districts. This cannot happen again to the money allocated for this year. I want to know the progress made every 3 months. Minister Nima Siripala de Silva said that a feasibility study is being carried out to construct a railway line from Kurunegala to Habarana. Also speaking at the meeting, Minister Rauf Hakim said that works surrounding water projects in Polonnaruwa are being implemented gradually. I believe that the drinking water problem in the Polonnaruwa district could be resolved over the next 3 years when these projects are implemented. I saw a protest stage last week in Bakamuna demanding that fertilizer be sold for 350 rupees. Fertilizer is not sold for 350 rupees. It is given for free. In the coming months, there will be a water problem that will affect the island. There is a dire need for water for the generation of power when compared to previous years, and this is mainly due to a problem in the Norochole power plant. That is why engineers from the irrigation and Mahavali authorities who are present here today need to ensure proper water management and use water sparingly. There will be a serious water crisis in the middle of the year.
The final phase of the News First Gum at the Door-to-Door campaign, which is reaching out to the most rural communities in the country, is currently in effect. The campaign, which entered its 20th day today, is being supported by the University of Peradeniya and got underway in the Colombo, Patiklo and Kandy districts today.
Gum at the Door-to-Door, a national public service initiative.
The Suryagore village in Kandy came to the spotlight of the Newsfirst Gammadha team touring the central province. The locals of this village are severely inconvenienced by wild animals. The destruction caused to their cultivation and property at the hand of monkeys and wild boars were captured in our cameras. The situation has aggravated as animals which have been captured from other areas are also being released here. Wild boars, which have occupied the marshlands on the banks of the Mahavali River as their territory, has also caused a threat to the locals. The copper industry, which is the main source of livelihood in the Kirivaula village, is currently plagued by a myriad of issues.
When the prices of copper increases, job opportunities decrease, so labourers move to other industries.
A Newsfirst Gammadda team touring the Kandy district visited the villages Udunuwara, Kirivaula, Hiddagolla and Bulugolavatta. The main concern for the village of Hiddagolla, Bulugolavatta is this.
We have not received any response. You will attain enlightenment if you help us.
The Newsfirst Gammadda team touring the Batiklo district visited several areas including the Uttuchena area today. The main issue affecting the locals of this village is the absence of a proper road system.
When we arrived, we saw concrete was laid on a road that was about 100 meters. The cost incurred on the board, which was displayed with the faces of the politicians, must have exceeded the money they spent on the road. The width of the board and the road is equal. The media network presents problems of the people, but Sirasa and Shakti are a bit different. We have succeeded in finding solutions to the problem.
During this tour, our team visited a disabled woman who is alleged to have been a member of the LTTE intelligence unit. Speaking to us, she explained the economic and many other hardships she faces. The Uttuchena Tamil College, which is the only school for the area, provides education only up to the 9th grade and has just 5 teachers. Upon visiting the Kardenaru area in Batiklo, the Newsfirst team met with a group of students who have to walk nearly 10 kilometers daily to obtain their education. This partially constructed bridge, which links these children to their villages, bears perfect testament to the hardships they face. The locals request at the very least that this bridge be renovated. The Newsfirst Gammadda door-to-door team touring the Colombo district visited the Manyangama village in Avisavela today.
If you have any personal issues, tell us now. Our team will note them down. We will do our research and do what we can do. Gammadda door-to-door, a national public service initiative. Gammadda door-to-door, a national public service initiative.
Unparalleled island-wide campaign, Gammadda Door-to-Door. Newsfirst, Sri Lanka's largest and most influential news provider, together with the University of Peradeniya, takes the unprecedented step. Walking from home to home, asking people this one simple question: what would make your life better? From the 24th of February to the 18th of March, covering all 25 districts, ensuring the very last home in each village is covered. A revolutionary campaign with one aim, giving a voice to the voiceless.
The Supreme Court said today that every citizen over the age of 5 has the right to acquire education at any government school in the country. The Supreme Court emphasized that HIV or any other matter cannot deprive a child of their right to education. The statement was made after considering the fundamental rights petition which was filed over the fate of a boy from Kuliapitia. The FR petition regarding the Kuliapitia child falsely rumoured to have HIV, who was denied the right of education, was taken up for hearing today before Chief Justice K. Sri Pavan and Justice Eva Manasundara. The State Council submitted to court that the child had been enrolled at a private school in Kandy with the intervention of the Education Minister, and that an agreement had been reached to bear all expenses for the child's education. Noting that a private school had come forward to assist the child and that parents and children are made to face such incidents, the petitioner requested the court to issue a determination on the rights of such individuals. The petitioners also urged that a statement be made on how the officers of the Education Ministry had not considered the statement given by the doctors, stating that the boy had not been infected by the HIV virus.
HIV/AIDS. The Supreme Court opinion was that steps taken for the association of those infected with HIV be done by following the Constitution and public policies. An order was imposed with regard to this. This is what took place today at the court, and in accordance with this, the case was brought to an end by the Supreme Court.
My child is not infected with HIV and he has suffered a lot. I do not know what would happen if these parents had a child with HIV. Whether a child is or not affected by HIV, I request that the public does not let this happen in the future.
The Teachers Association of the University of Canania have abstained from engaging in academic activities. The measure has been taken citing incidents of ragging of newly enrolled students to the Canania University by senior students. The Teachers Association said that when lecturers had inquired into the matter, senior students had issued death threats and reprimanded the lecturers. The Canania University Teachers Association held a discussion on the matter today, where it was decided to refrain from engaging in all academic activities of students except for those in the first year. As university lecturers, we are aware that not all students are involved in these incidents. So it is our objective and responsibility to put a stop to this program, which is repulsive and is being carried out by very few senior students, so that students in the university can ensure their right to obtain their education in peace and for the sake of safeguarding our profession and respect as lecturers. We also inquired about the matter from the Students' Union at the Canania University. As a student movement, never have we carried out acts of ragging on any student. But in relation to the Canania University, several academic welfare issues have cropped up. Even as we speak, we urge the university administration to resolve the issues of the students. But instead of resolving them, the administration has created a row between the lecturers and students.
4 persons, including Yoshitha Rajapaksa, the son of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, were granted bail by the Colombo High Court today. The suspects were earlier remanded over charges of financial irregularities at CSN Channel, which was being heard before the Kaduwala Magistrates Court.
The bail application, which was submitted on behalf of Yoshitha Rajapaksa, Rohan Valivita, Professor Ashan Rabinath Fernando and Sachitra Kavishan Disanayaka, was considered by Colombo High Court Judge R.A.A. Hintudua. The suspects had been arrested by the police FCID in terms of the Money Laundering Act on the 30th of January. The 4 suspects were released on a cash bail of 100,000 rupees each and 2 sureties of 1 million rupees each, following consideration of the bail application by the Colombo High Court. An overseas travel ban was imposed on the suspects who were released on bail, and court ordered that the 4 individuals cooperate with the investigations taking place. The bail application for another suspect in the case, Nishant Ranatunga, which was filed separately, was under consideration of the Colombo High Court.
නඩුව සම්බන්ධයෙන් කියන්න තියෙන්නේ අප ලබා දුන්නා. ඒක තමයි හරි නියෝගේ සන්තෝෂයි. මම දැක්ක Facebook එකේ තියෙනවා මේ මම ලයිට් හංගලා කියලා වලක් කපලා මේ නිවිල්ගේ ගෙදර වලක් හරලා විදුලිය හංගලා. ඒක ඉතින් හොයාගත්තම හැක් වෙයි ලයිට්. ඉතින් අවුරුදු 20 කට පස්සේ වගේ සිදුවීමක් ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම කනගාටු වෙනවා. කුමන්ත්‍රණය නෙමෙයි කල්පනාකරණේ අඩු. සාපක ඉදිරි බලාගාර දෙක නියුත් කරගෙන මේ තත්ත්වෙට තියෙනවා කියලා කියන ඒ සම්බන්ධව ඔබතුමා මොකද ඔබතුමාගේ මේ සම්පූර්ණ බොරුවක්.
This is a lie, a big lie. This is something they are attempting to do to sling mud at us, just like they said Chinese investment is bad and that Nelum Pokuna is a toilet pit. We have done something for the loans we obtained. They have obtained bigger loans in the last year alone. What work has been done for that? They have obtained short-term loans and have destroyed it.
Meanwhile, 4 suspects, including Yoshitha Rajapaksa, were released after being produced before the Kaduwala Magistrates Court today after meeting all bail conditions.
Still on local news, as the joint opposition have set up plans to stage a rally in Colombo on the 17th of this month, the United National Party are also in motion of staging a rally. Meanwhile, the General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party warns that the constitution of the party states the necessary action which should be taken in the event the party's policies and conduct are violated.
We would like to declare the giant public rally which the joint opposition is set to stage on the 17th of this month as the beginning of our continuous journey of ensuring a secure future for the people by sending this UNP government home, which has dashed the hopes of the people and has caused only more pain. Somavansa Amarasinghe and his party will join us on the 17th in our program to strengthen the joint opposition. Moreover, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa has also affirmed that he too will join us on this platform.
සහභාගී වෙන බව සහතික කරලා තියෙනවා.
No, he will not. He has not taken part in politics, has he? These are just rumors. We are inviting the entire country just as we invited you as citizens.
Meanwhile, issuing a communique, General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Minister Duminda Disanayake says that individuals and forces which are working in a manner which harms the party are being exposed. The communique says that these persons are misleading the party membership, thereby using it as a scapegoat to achieve their petty objectives. He requests the members of the SLFP to refrain from causing harm to the party by either directly or indirectly sponsoring or participating in meetings, rallies, protests and other actions organized by various individuals and organizations merely to fulfill their petty objectives.
This government is prepared by any means to rectify the shortcomings and mistakes which were caused by the previous government and move forward. The previous politicians cannot bear to watch this, so they are wondering as to how they can arouse the people and create chaos. This is what they have been doing over the past few days. So we request the people not to get deceived by these and ignore these statements and give your fullest support to the program of this government. As the United National Party, we have taken a decision to invite all our party members to Colombo tomorrow, where we will stage a rally at 2 p.m. and go in procession against these false allegations which are being raised.
The Hambantota District Coordinating Committee convened a meeting at the District Secretariat today.
The meeting was presided over by the co-chairpersons, State Minister of Fisheries Dilip Vedarachi and former Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa. Ministers Sajith Premadasa, Mahinda Amaravira and Nihal Galapatti also attended the meeting. Once again, the underworld has raised its head and robberies are increasing day by day. A string of child and women abuse and murder cases are taking place. What is the reason for the present wave of crime in the Hambantota district? The suspect connected to the murder of Ukkua has been arrested. Then there is a shooting that took place recently. We have found the vehicle and the suspect connected to the incident will also be taken into custody. We know who these individuals are. Over 70 police officers are on duty to obtain information from the public and state organizations so that action can be taken. Meanwhile, questions were raised regarding the merging of 3 primary schools in Hambantota despite public protest. The Provincial Education Minister, Provincial Education Secretary, Provincial Educational Director and other officials need to reach a conclusion by conducting a field inspection and meeting the parents and teachers. This is because we as politicians cannot say one thing here and another thing somewhere else. You must act independently and if there is any problem, please bring it to our attention.
The envoys of 31 countries visited the Polonnaruwa district today. The visit was organized by the Minister of Provincial Councils and Local Government Faisal Mustafa on the instructions of President Maithripala Sirisena.
A statement issued by the ministry reads that the purpose of this visit was to secure foreign support for villages which were abandoned and undeveloped as a result of the war. Ambassadors and High Commissioners of 31 nations visited villages in the Polonnaruwa, Madirigiriya and Valikanda administrative divisions which were affected by the war. The group visited the Migaswava Mahavidyalaya and the Vadigavava Primary School. People who gathered at the location presented their problems to the diplomats. A group also inquired into problems faced by the agrarian community in Vadigavava.
Here you could see
the diplomats also paid their respects at a cemetery where 243 people killed in a terrorist attack on the 15th of October 1992 were laid to rest. The group then toured the Mahatalakulavava area.
His Excellency the President always says that there should be balanced development in the country. For that to take place, something should be done for these innocent Sinhala Muslim and Tamil people who were battered by the war. After the war, the people living in these areas are still under severe mental pressure. At this instance, I should mention that we are committed to provide the necessary support to the people of this area with the help of the international community.
The envoys later met with President Maithripala Sirisena in Polonnaruwa.
The post-mortem examination on the charred remains which were found inside a van in the Bujjampala area in Dankotua was carried out at the Negombo General Hospital today. The body of Kapila Senarath, who is said to be the driver of the van, was identified by his wife.
Primary data has been obtained following the post-mortem examination of the 5 victims conducted by a team of 5 specialist doctors, including the Judicial Medical Officer of the Negombo General Hospital, Dr. M.M.A. Rolhak. Following the examination, the wife of Kapila Senarath, Bandara, who was identified as the driver of the van, identified her husband's body by a piece of a gold chain and a piece of metal in his leg. The post-mortem examination also revealed that Kapila Senarath was killed by blunt force trauma to the head. Meanwhile, the 5 suspects who were arrested in connection with the multiple homicide were subject to a special medical examination at the Negombo District Hospital by the Criminal Investigations Department today. The much anticipated World T20 tournament will commence tomorrow, with Sri Lanka defending their title as World T20 champions.
Host India will take New Zealand in the curtain race tomorrow, and Sports Buzz is geared to bring you ball-to-ball action of this game and more. And with that, we wrap up Primetime News tonight. For the News1st team, I'm Florian Rajendran.
I'm Saturanga Pawarachi. Take care and good night.